Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case and the Bitcoin with the letters. Some very interesting things coming out. We're ready to talk, is what it said. And we're learning more about those letters. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace. Smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong. But honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearl. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Let's go.
Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff. Just the real that we trust, hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff. Just the real that we trust, hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff. Just the real that we trust, hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Well, hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is April 20th, 2026. It is currently 9:01 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, my beauties. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. Some very interesting information coming out that we're going to be speaking about. Lots of craziness, that is for sure. Also, Sheriff is under fire. He is getting more criticism with the other Nancy that went missing. He is under fire for all of that. And yeah, lots to talk about. First, I just want to say that if you are familiar with the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, and you're familiar kind of with the deeper dives of how the case went. Um, our friend Tony Mathis very sadly um, passed away very unexpectedly and very quickly day before yesterday. And Tony was just in here 2 weeks ago saying hi to us. And I was absolutely gobsmacked when I heard. I usually talk to Tony at least once a month, I would say. I hadn't talked to him in a couple weeks, and just very unexpected. You really never know. You really never know. Life is very short, and it can be taken from us in a second. So, um, my heart, Dana, if you see this, the kids, my heart and my prayers and all of our here on the channel are we're praying for you guys at this time. Um, Tony really always tried to make things better, and always was the helper. Wanted to he was a fixer. He really wanted to fix uh, anything that he could. And yeah, it is war. It really is. I'm very we're all shocked and saddened by this. So I just wanted to mention that I did a community post last night. Um, he died day before yesterday. Um, it kind of got out last night when people was started posting on his Facebook and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of when it. And my prayers go out to Seth right now. Seth, they were best friends, and the amount of loss that Seth has had, uh, really sad, really sad. So yeah, wanted to, yes, yeah. Um, Seth would go out, to Oklahoma quite a bit, and especially when he got, really stressed or whatever. Deb, good to see you, honey. Tony, his name was Tony Mathis. He really helped the father of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He was a 15-year-old that went missing on February 25th, 2024, uh, in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and he really helped out the dad and all that. If one of my mods will do me a favor, a big favor, I would like to play something before the night's over, maybe at the end of the live. If you guys can find me the court TV It should be pretty easy to find. Court TV um, interview. It's with they're in a hotel room, and it's of Seth giving Tony the stink eye. If somebody can find that, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it, and send me the link. One of my mods or anybody, you can text it to me. That is the absolute funniest thing. I had it on my other computer, but I don't have it on this computer. So yeah, yeah. So guys, before we get started, if you would be so kind and please hit that thumbs up button, greatly, greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would share the live out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media. Also, if you would consider hyping this video, you get 3 hypes a week here on YouTube. If you don't use it, you lose it. And it's like a great big thumbs up, if you will. It's helps boost the algorithm, gets the videos out there even more. If you, it's completely free, and it really, really helps. So thank you all for being here. Hello, Miss Maurice, Peggy, Not Lob, Jinja. You sent it? You already got it? God, you quick, Jinja. I haven't even got it yet, I don't think. Did you send it earlier? When did you send it? Good to see, my dear Miss Mama Sandwich. Oh, when Tony said crystal clear. Yes. Yeah. That's right, Sandwich. Yes, Connie, good to see you. Tina, Janie, good to see you, my friend. Miss Shannon, Robin, Deb, Tucci, good to see you. Sassy, hello. Tucson, Anna Elizabeth, Connie, Robin, Carol, Janie, Christy. You guys are the best. Um I just love the camaraderie that you guys have in here. You guys are so good to each other. Hey, Lakeside, how are you, baby? It's so good to see you. Love you, honey. So good to see you. Uh, Miss Khan, good to see you. I just love you guys. Adore each and every one of you. Um, thank you for being here. Did I didn't get it. I did not get it, my dear. Can you resend that email maybe? And I'll play it. Let me make sure. Let me see here. Ginger. Nope, still didn't get it. No. I just got recent post from the Cajun Navy. What's that about? Offering. Oh, that's interesting. New with the United Cajun Navy is offering to revise a proposal to assist in the search for missing Nancy Guthrie, if that's what it takes to get the endorsement of the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Quote, we want permission from the lead agency, said Josh Gill, the UCN incident commander, who was on the ground in Tucson, Arizona in February, but was unable to kick off the search. Quote, I don't think there would be any harm. I think it would be one step closer to providing some closure, not to just the family or the community, but the nation, end quote. It's now been 78 days since Nancy suspected abduction from her home in the Catalina Foothills in northern Tucson. Gill provided the Pima County Sheriff's Department with a 41-page proposal in February that says he has not yet heard back. He says he's open to making changes authorities deem necessary. Anyone with information about Nancy Guthrie's case, 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Okay. Um, okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay. You might have to go to their website, Ginger, or their YouTube. Thank you, my dear. All right, guys. So very interesting stuff. Brian Entin spoke on today. I've got some thoughts. I don't necessarily he speaks with former FBI Steve Moore, and I agree with a lot, but there's some things I don't agree with, and I want to talk about that. I want to hear your thoughts on that. We're going to do probably some rapid fire polls, and it'll be a poll that pops up here. You'll push 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat room, and it will automatically go on the poll. So, yeah, yeah. Hey, Ann, good to see you, my dear. Hey, Carol, Robin, good to see you. All right, let's get right to it. Very interesting things here today that I want to show you. Also, Brew Crew Beyond 50 talks about format, some very, very interesting stuff here. Brian Entin as well, he is says that he is getting ready to, I guess, go on a trip or something, and trying to dig up some more stuff for Nancy Guthrie. Evan, I didn't. I didn't ever. But thank you for asking. Here we go. I'm comfortable with my toolbox, baby. Okay. All right. So we're going to start here with Brian Entin. He's learning some more things about this letter. You know, we were talking about these letters the last couple of days, and it's very interesting this came up. Brian's speaking about this now, about more about the letter. We're ready to talk. We're ready to talk is what is in part of it. And yeah, just very, very interesting here. So here we go. I'm gonna give credit to, oh, that's a little too big. We'll do it. We'll do the scroll. Give credit to our friend Brian Entin. Brian Entin here. Here we go. Guys, if you're just joining us, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Appreciate y'all being here.
FBI or from the Guthrie family. So I'm going to tell you exactly what we know, the new information about that coming up. Also, I'm talking to retired FBI agent Steve Moore, good friend of the show. You guys have seen him many times, but specifically, I'm asking him about what some of these profilers have told me recently. You know, I've spoken to several retired FBI profilers who have come up with a profile of who they believe is responsible for the Nancy Guthrie abduction based on the information that they have. And Steve is going to explain how the agents on the ground actually investigating the case use the information from the profilers, and they use the information to help them investigate. How exactly does that work, though? And Steve is the perfect person because he has had investigations where he's used profilers before. I also wanted to.
He talks about Dr. Gary Bricardo in this as well.
See what he thought about some of what they're telling me, like the fact that they believe the person responsible is someone who knew Nancy Guthrie. What does he think about that? Plus some of these other details that they had, that it may have been retribution. I'm curious what Steve thinks, because again, he was one of the agents who was actually working the cases like this on the ground. So I'm going to talk to Steve and get into all of it coming up in this episode of Brian Entin Investigates.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have it on my commercial list one. Let me put it on my commercial. Sorry about that. I apologize.
Hey, guys.
Going to do some rapid fire polls here, by the way. Put 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. Here we go.
Hired FBI profilers who have come up with a profile of who they believe is responsible for the Nancy Guthrie abduction based on the information that they have. And Steve is going to explain how the agents on the ground actually investigating the case use the information from the profilers, and they use the information to help them investigate. How exactly does that work, though? And Steve is the perfect person because he has had investigations where he's used profilers before. I also wanted to see what he thought about some of what they're telling me, like the fact that they believe the person responsible is someone who knew Nancy Guthrie.
Oh my God.
What does he think about 100%? That? Plus some of these other details that they had, that it may have been.
Really? 100% of you believe That's very interesting. Very interesting.
Retribution. I'm curious what Steve thinks because again, he was one of the agents who was actually working the cases like this on the ground. So I'm going to talk to Steve and get into all of it coming up in this episode of Brian Entin Investigates.
Steve, it's nice to see you. Thank you
Okay,
for joining me. I wanted to ask you some questions about some of this new information that's come out in the Nancy Guthrie investigation.
Steve is former FBI. He just retired not that long ago.
And some of the information that I've learned from some of the profilers that I talked to, and I wanted to see, like, as an agent, how you would put that into action actually with the investigation. But the first thing I wanted to ask you about is this new information coming from Brianna Whitney, who's a reporter with the CBS station in Phoenix. And that's one of the stations that received the first two ransom letters, the ones that we believe Savannah was referencing when she said that she thought two were real. And they're now divulging, the station, that when they looked back into the Bitcoin wallet, there was activity on February 10th, and there's been no activity since. So this would have been a couple of months ago, right when the letters first came out. And a small amount of money was put into the account, along with a note that said, "We are ready to talk, contact us." And then there was a link for how to reach out to them. And it doesn't, there's
Oh, sorry, guys. I was muted. Apologize for that. I was saying, do you believe that the one or two ransom letters are real? Some people do, some people don't, right? And I personally think, in my opinion, that the one or two of them are correct, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. Now, I'll say this. I think they're real, but I don't think it's for ransom, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I think personally. And it's very interesting because they didn't tell us what was all in just in these two letters here. And the FBI got back with them, right? The FBI got back with them. So they didn't with the other letters, right? They didn't with the other letters. Why these two letters? Why these two? Right? So that's my opinion on it. I don't think the FBI would have gotten back with them had they not think that there was something to them, perhaps. Nancy would have to be allowed to send a ransom note. No, son, she still was. I definitely hear you, Molly, on that. So I believe this was a thing to try to throw off. Yeah, you just type in 1, 2, or 3 in the chat, and it'll add it to the poll. That's how you vote. You just, if yes, you just hit 1. If no, you hit 2 in chat. And if you're unsure, hit 3. Just type it in chat, and it'll pop it up there on the poll automatically. So I think it was just a way to try to throw them off, in my opinion. The first letter, there was allegedly, they said time is of the essence. And the second letter, the next day, it said time is no longer of the essence, allegedly. I think one was real because Savannah said, so it made me think the letter revealed something only they could know. And I agree, Deb. I agree. I think there had to be something in those letters to pique their attention that nobody else would know. Right. So there we go. So 53% says yes, 21% says no, and 26% says unsure. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. All right. Let's continue with this.
There's no way to know for sure that that was the FBI or Savannah Guthrie, but it seems like it would kind of make sense. What do you think it means that they put that note in there, but it seems there was no response?
Well, I don't think we know that there was no response. There was no response that was visible to us. But I think that what that is the FBI saying, if it was the FBI, which makes sense, it's them saying, hey, we're in a negotiation here. This is not something where we're going to play the game where you just dictate terms to us, because it's that whole thing. Well,
that's what I was talking about. Like, people were saying, well, why didn't Savannah and them just pay the money, right? Well, you can't do that. You can't just throw money. I know you want to, but you can't just throw money at someone if you're 100% sure there's, they can show you some proof that this is the actual person, that there's an actual plan to get Nancy back, that there's a plan to, pay them as well, and all of that. So you can't just automatically put money, in an account and say, okay, here, now what? Because they have the upper hand already, right? They have the upper hand, the suspect, and you have to get a little bit of control back.
This is your only mother, you want her back, so you better meet our terms. And they would say, we're your only victims, so if you don't get money from us, you don't get a dime. So we're both in this,
no proof of life.
A zero-sum end game. I mean, this is big. And
I agree.
So
Loops, I agree.
There is wiggle room in negotiations. I can guarantee you, not every negotiation, but it really depends on how you do the negotiation. If you start, I know this sounds horrible, but it's like negotiating on a house or a car price, where if you come in and seem desperate, they will not budge.
Yeah. It's you're kind of playing you're not kind of, you are playing cat and mouse at that point. You are playing cat and mouse, and you don't want to go in there seeming so desperate, even though you are. But again, you've got to take some of that control back. And it went from time is of the essence to no time is the time of the essence is no longer, or something like that.
If they come in and seem truly, yes, we desperately want her back, but we're not going to set a precedent for future crimes, things like this, then you're forcing them into a negotiation. So I think what the FBI was telling them is, this is not you make a demand, we fulfill the demand. This is a negotiation, and this is going to be how it works.
Do you think that there was just that one entry from February 10th. Are you surprised they haven't tried again in terms of the FBI or the Guthries?
I'm not, but again, I don't know what they know. Maybe I would be surprised. And in the FBI,
he's being tried. He's the only one, though.
the same case, there's going to be a case agent, there's going to be a supervisor, there's going to be the supervisor's boss, the assistant special agent in charge, and then it goes all the way to the president in this case. So there could be, it would be astounding to me if there wasn't disagreement within them, within the team, on what the best strategy is going forward. And I've never been in a situation where there wasn't. Somebody saying they sound crazy, just pay them. What do we got to lose? Well, we've got to lose everything on this case and the victim and a precedent set for other.
Yes. Thank you. I'm glad he said that, because and this is the thing. Most people are good. I genuinely believe most people are good or decent, right? We all have error, but most of us are good. But it's the few out there that take advantage of things that screw it up for the rest of us. And if, people just start giving money immediately to people they don't know if this ransom letter is legit, well, the criminals are going to be like, they're going to start doing this, asking every Tom, Dick, and Harry when ransom letters happen. People just screw it up.
Cases. And so both sides come with strong arguments.
How much do you think they're consulting the family in the decision of whether to reach out again?
They're going to consult them before every significant move, and a lot of insignificant moves, but they won't.
Yes, absolutely. I've been to a lot of different countries. I've been to some Middle Eastern countries. I've been to some South Asian countries, and kidnappings there are very, very common. And they kidnap people every day, particularly if you're like an American or whatever. So you'll have to hire guards, which is really cheap. But you have to hire people because they kidnap school kids all the time, and they'll write a ransom letter to the family, and the family pays it. Just pays it if they can. And that happens in Mexico too. Yeah, absolutely.
Be in the Guthries won't be in the squad bay or the FBI conference room when they determine what their strategy recommendations are going to be. And certainly, I mean, think of it this way: it is not this relationship, but it has some similarities to a person who is on trial and they have an attorney. That attorney is an expert in the law, and they've seen this type of case so many times. But if the defendant wants to plead guilty, you can't talk him out of it. I mean, I'm sure you could try, but ultimately the decision is going to rest with the defendant. And in the FBI, it's very clear when you're going through training and when you start working these types of cases that you are working as a.
So if you go to India or Pakistan and you're an American, people want, because it's very, very, very crowded in India and Pakistan. And if you're just they call them bazaars, if you're at the stores on the street, they will, people follow you just the whole time. They're just fascinated with you. It's weird. It's very weird, but they'll just walk around with you. These just random people, just fascinated. Unfortunately, someone didn't. Yeah. That's why I ain't going nowhere. Yeah. like you'll go like to like get ice cream or whatever, because everyone walks on the street there a lot. Well, there's a lot of people walk on the street there, and they'll follow you a mile. It's just crazy.
An adjunct to the victims. You are trying to help them. At the same time, you are trying to capture the kidnapper. And so, it comes down to what's more important, capturing the kidnapper or...
And also, like, if you go, in our culture, in America, in the Western part of the world, it's rude to stare. There, it's not. It's not considered rude to stare. And everybody stares at you. Everybody stares at you. It's interesting. It's almost like you're a celebrity when you go there, if you're an American, particularly. It's like they've seen an alien.
Getting the victim back. And that's where the rub comes in, usually. Yeah. I used to argue that there's no difference. If you get the victim, you get the kidnapper. If you get the kidnapper, you get the victim if they're still alive.
I'm just thinking, I mean, from the Guthrie's perspective, there doesn't seem to be much going on right now from what we know from our sources behind the scenes. Like, they're not making a ton of progress.
Right.
They don't seem to know who this person is who took Nancy or exactly what happened. And this may be the only real link that they have. If Savannah is saying we believe those two are real, like, I just don't know that I would be able to resist if that was my mom being like, let's get back in that Bitcoin account. Like, even now, like, you're up every night, like, screw it. Let's put more money in there and just see what happens.
Right. And I think so.
Thank you, Miss Dolores. Miss Dolores, I missed your super chat yesterday. I apologize. I don't know if you had already left. Thank you so much, Miss Dolores. Appreciate you very, very much, my dear. So I typed in chat. I saw it as soon as I ended my live, and I typed in chat, "Oh, Dolores, I'm sorry I missed you." Oops. So I apologize for that. I watched the interview. He's really good. Yeah. His name is Steve Moore, former FBI. He's very good. There's some things up here that I don't necessarily, there's some things I partially agree with, and there's some things that I don't agree with. And I'll get to it in a second, just my opinion.
Some people would argue that puts you at a disadvantage, that if the person had Nancy alive and wanted to return her, they would be the one contacting the FBI. It doesn't, I don't think it's going to be, I mean, if the kidnappers were amenable to discussing it, they would have bit on the first one. And of course, it doesn't mean they didn't.
Oh my God, Bridget. My husband's sister has dementia. Last night she wandered off. She got past the cameras, 1 hour search. She got a ride from a neighbor. Thank God. Okay. Oh my God, Bridget. Yeah. You know something, Bridget? Just a suggestion. Get her a bracelet or a necklace that that she has dementia. And with like your phone number on it, if she ever gets lost like that, that's a really good, yeah, door alarms are great as well. But it's literally like having a kid again,
The problem I have here is
my other grandmother, not the one that raised me, but my other grandmother had dementia, and we was moving her from one state to another, and we had her on a Delta flight, and it was the hardest thing I think I've ever been through. She was throwing a fit. She was throwing a fit. and you're just like, oh, I mean, dementia is Alzheimer's is such a hard thing, because they're frustrated, you're frustrated, everyone's frustrated. Um, yeah. And then when it gets, they call it sundowns or something like that, when it gets like evening, it gets worse a lot of times.
Is the kidnappers or the people demanding the ransom, we'll say that way, were negotiating in bad faith from day one. They would provide no proof of life. They didn't take Nancy's safety into consideration, according to physical evidence at the scene. Everything they did was in bad faith, and so it's like negotiating with Iran. They can say that they're going to do something, but we sure don't trust them to do anything because they've never demonstrated anything, any bit of integrity or good faith in the investigation. One of the main issues that makes them seem like non-serious, is that they wanted the negotiations basically public. They wanted to go through TMZ.
And that is something that you rarely ever see with ransom, like true ransom letters, right? Most people who kidnap someone, they don't want anyone to know, not the police, not a national media outlet to know. They just want the family to know. What's one of the first things generally in a ransom letter? You go to the police, they're dead, right? There you go. But these ransom letters, again, if true, one went to TMZ and 2 local outlets. Hey, Fun to Ski, good to see you, baby. I don't understand them going through TMZ. What was the purpose of that, do you think? Again, I think I think 1 or 2 of these letters are real. I don't think it was about ransom, though. I think it was to get the conversation to the masses out, that this person, that this is about ransom. I don't believe this was ever about ransom. I just don't personally. Now, Steve, I think, which he's going to talk about, he the way I understand him, uh, he makes it sound like he thinks it could be because of Savannah. I personally, I don't think it has to do with Savannah whatsoever, but that's just me.
They wanted to go through TV networks. If you wanted an intermediary to pass on stuff, you could choose people other than the media. They wanted this public.
That's exactly right. They wanted it public. Fun to Ski, thank you so much for renewing, baby. Appreciate you very, very, very much. Really do appreciate that. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing, Fun to Ski? It has been said that 2 new ones from Savannah back at work were linked to the first ones. I have not heard that, Sassy. Really? I think the notes were to notify them that they had her and then that she had passed, not for ransom. Well, the first one said she was alive. And then the next day, it said time is no longer of the essence. You're going to want that ransom letter out quick, right? You're not going to wait 2 days for a ransom letter to come out. So I don't really believe it, that it was for ransom. People want to get the show on the road, so to speak, right? Here's the let's notify the family that we have her, she's alive, give me my money, I'll give you back to her quick, right? Hey, Jason, the whole case is so whack that the TMZ thing almost makes perfect sense in the context of how out there the whole situation is. Yep. Yeah, when you're going to like literally a tabloid, right? Like literally a tabloid. Uh, out of, I mean, like I just don't understand TMZ out of all places. You know what I mean? Out of all places, TMZ. Mm.
This is more of an emotional response, thinking about like if it's your own mom versus, you know, the FBI is actually thinking through whether this is legit.
Well, yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. The family's going to want the mother back at all costs. And I get that. If it was my wife, I would want her back at all costs, you know, and make your points and save your money on other cases. This is my family. So I totally get that. But at the same time, there would be an FBI agent coming to them privately and saying, based on everything we know, we don't think that Nancy's there to recover anymore.
We were literally thinking the same thing. I was going to mention that, Ginger. Yes. You got to think about the people that watch TMZ as well, right? It's generally people interested in celebrities, right? That's kind of what TMZ is. I mean, now they talk about news and stuff, but when you think of TMZ, you think of celebrities, right? So I would say this person's 40 or less, somewhere around there. You know what I mean? Must be the abductors were huge fans of Harvey Levin. It's like a gossip column for TV. Yeah. Shannon, thank you, baby. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Mama. Really appreciate you. If you received one of those pearl necklaces, make sure you give our dear Shannon a big thank you.
I hope people are paying attention to this.
Welcome to Clutch Them Pearls, yeah, you're in the clue. Shine bright like the stars, this world never knew. We're dancing, laughing all around this world. Hold tight, shine bright, you're part of a pearl.
Thank you so much, Miss Shannon. Really appreciate that. Make sure you give our girl, Miss Shannon, a big thank you if you received one of those. Hey, Becky, good to see you.
So if you or they would say the chances of her being there to recover are infinitely small. And the people are not negotiating in good faith if they are the actual kidnappers. And so we don't think that there is value in pursuing this this way of getting her back, meaning giving the money.
Yeah, interesting. I've spoken to a couple of profilers over the last week that I wanted to get your take on some of their theories and how, you know, as an agent, you would put them into practice with the actual investigation. Dr. Gary Brocado, and this was really interesting because he based his whole theory off of statistics, like, you know, actual statistics from other cases that would lead to.
I like that.
Yeah, it was really interesting because it wasn't just kind of a pie in the sky idea. He had all the statistics to back it up. And he was explaining to me that 92% of women who are murdered, the killer is someone that they know. Granted, we don't know that.
Talking about Dr. Gary Brocado, right? We love Dr. Gary, and he's absolutely wonderful. And he's right. 92% of particularly females that are unalived is someone they know. Now, how far back do we go with this, right? Is this something that's been very recent? Is it something that goes back 8 or 10 years like it did in the Spencer and Monique Tepe case. He was just freaking obsessed. The ex, right? You know, Nancy's lived a long life. Some people will hold grudges for, I mean, ever, which is just absolutely crazy to me that someone can be mad at someone for decades, even enough, so much to unalive them. There's just no way in the world I would live like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Nancy was murdered at this point, although sadly, doesn't seem like she's probably alive at this point, but we don't know for sure. But
Right.
so 92% of women who are murdered, the killer is someone they know.
This guy either knew her or the person that hired them knows her, right?
No. Is that something that you think the
Could be.
the agents are taking into account, a statistic like that?
You know, I don't know.
I was watching a case. It was this it was at a university, and they were it was like doctors and in a lab kind of thing that they worked at. There was a guy that was there. They fired him, and he later killed like a child. One of their, like, he went in the house. The kid got home. He was like what they call a latchkey kid. You know, we would come home to nobody, especially in like the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And the kid just got home from school, and it was like eating, playing video games, and they went in and unalived the kid. And then later, some years later, he went and unalived someone else, like down the road, that worked in the same lab. And the guy was fired in the lab, and he was mad. He was mad. Hey, Sheila, good to see you, darling. Good to see you. Hey, Maria, Bridget, hello. Good to see you.
I'm certainly not going to argue with the statistic. That sounds accurate. What I would want to discuss with the doctor is whether he considered this this consistent with all other murders of women. I think if you did a sample test of those 92%, the number of women that would have been kidnapped for ransom would have been statistically insignificant.
Well, you just don't hear of ransoms anymore. When's the last time we have heard of a ransom? You know what I mean? Like, you just don't hear of ransom anymore. So I don't buy the ransom. I don't think that I think the goal was Nancy, that is for sure, but I don't think the goal was to kidnap her and take her for money. Because again, if they, and this is why I disagree with Mr. Steve here personally on this, just my disagreement on this is that if you were taking her for ransom, right, you would have taken her medicine, in my opinion. You know that this lady's a delicate flower, right? She's 84 years old. You're going to make sure she is probably has her shoes on and has what she needs. Remember, they were in there 40 some minutes minimum. So I think that they would have taken her medicine. They would have wanted to keep her alive. in my opinion. So that's the difference. I can imagine her fear. I can't either. Ginger, I cannot imagine the fear that was on her. Cannot. That had to be so incredibly scary.
I could be wrong, but I'm not sure that is. And I'm not disagreeing with him. I would just have to be convinced that kidnapping was statistically legitimate.
Do you think that the FBI is going through, and the way he explained it, when he says someone that she knew, not like necessarily a close friend or family member, but someone she had come into contact with?
I agree with him on that. I just don't think that I would have come to that conclusion with those statistics.
Yeah.
I think that there are very good statistics.
Okay. Charlotte says, I found something interesting. I believe the print in Nancy Guthrie's blood on the porch is likely from a wheel on a knee support scooter. I will be sending an email, Justin. Yeah, please do. Please do. I'd love to see that. Love to see that. Is it true also Tommaso's friends close to Nanos? I don't believe so, Shannon. I don't believe so. I mean, they might have something, but I don't personally think there's this big conspiracy.
To show that people who are kidnapped are frequently kidnapped by people who know them.
Is Oranges?
Yeah, and he actually brought that up too with abduction.
Is Oranges in here? Hey, Oranges, good to see you, babe.
Which he said there's 350 abductions a year, normally children, but the far majority of those know their abductor. So that would also kind of match up with this theory that it's someone, and he said, it could be a contract, it could be anybody. It doesn't mean someone she knew well. So if you're working the case, and we've heard that they're looking at contractors and construction worker, I mean, how far back do you think they go in terms of people she's come into contact with?
I'd probably go back at least 10 years. And this is going to sound horrible. And
okay,
I almost hope
he says he would go back 10 years. Let me think here. When did she quit the college? In 2007? So that wouldn't be, that's more than 10 years, obviously. That's nearly 20. Generally speaking, and statistically speaking as well, it's something that leads up to the days and the weeks. In my opinion, it's going to be weeks or months in this case. Something happens leading up to the days, weeks, or months before they are unalived. So that's what I would be looking at, particularly the last year. But he is right. You want to go back as far as possible to see if there's been any weirdness there. We know that, this guy was allegedly on the porch January 11th, and that's 2 weeks prior. So this had to have been planned, right? And that means something had to happen before the 11th of January. Miss Dolores, I love you. Justin, I love you. Pearls, we love you, Miss Dolores. Thank you so much, darling. Appreciate you. Good to see you, my dear. Thank you, lovely. Appreciate you. I think it was someone who waited for her dog to die. The dog would have barked and alerted Nancy. Nancy had several tenants living in her guest house, and one rumor is that one of those tenants was a man who was asked to move out. And that would not surprise me, Becky. That is one thing that would not surprise me. You get a tenant who feels like they were close to Nancy, right? They might have been close. They were on the same property. They can feel like they would know the inside of the house for sure. most likely, and they would know the property. Absolutely. I can see that. They would have had to know she no longer had a dog. Yeah, that as well. The girl he is with now became pregnant around the time his ex called him to let him know. I don't know what you're talking about, Miss Sherry. If Miss G had tenants, why has nothing been said about them? One tenant came forward, JLR. Well, I played it here actually. Oh, that was for Ginger. Gotcha. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. One tenant came forward and talked to JLR in a at Walmart. That's what it was. Now, think about this. Sometimes, particularly if it's just like, you're renting out just a little apartment beside your house or whatever, you might become friends, right? You might become friends and you feel like you become even family. They might have hang out, sat on the back deck, uh, stayed in the pool together, whatever, and something happened, right? Uh, and they had a falling out. That could certainly be something to look at, in my opinion. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, you never let tenants know where you live. But the thing is, with that, it's it's hard to not.
Savannah doesn't hear this, but I would probably go back as far as the time when Savannah became prominent on media.
Oh God, Sheila, absolutely, we'll keep you in our prayers, darling. I'm so sorry. What's going on with you, baby? I hope you feel better. Hope you feel better, honey. Yeah, get to the doctor. Make sure you're going to the doctor. Listen, don't take no from a doctor, right? A lot of people get intimidated by doctors and stuff when they get there. Don't be intimidated. It's your body, it's your life, it's your mind, it's you. So make sure I'm going back in the morning. Well, if you need to go now, go. If you don't wait, if you're not
because
feeling real
I
good.
think that this is likely somebody who believes that Savannah has
better.
uh, infinite money and can pay ransoms. And so based on that theory of mine, that's where I would want to start, is when she
Now, do you agree with him? Do you guys agree with him that you feel like this could be a ransom because of Savannah? I don't. I just don't.
became prominent on TV, and then you'd have to find out. Then
1 hour and
I'd
3
start
minutes.
my work from there.
How do you do that? I mean, how do you go back that far?
It's difficult. You have to
No.
go through all sorts of records. You have to. I mean, it's basically a record search. And was there construction? I would go back through Nancy's bank account for all those years. Who did she
One thing, yes, her bank account, definitely.
pay? My guess is that she wrote checks.
I don't either.
She doesn't seem like the person who 10 years ago was probably, Venmoing people stuff. So I would go back through all of her records, financial
I'm sure that she kept really good records. I would
records to
she kept
begin
really,
with,
really good
and
records.
all of her social media, and go back for 10 years. I'd be at her banks and at her social media carriers trying to get her information, and then go from there. And what you're looking for is, say you're looking back 15 years. So many people who she would have dealt with are either out don't live in the country anymore, don't live in the state, have passed away, all these things. So the ones that are still around to investigate would be it wouldn't be that you'd have to say, oh, this guy's out of town, I've got to find him and talk to him. No, probably not. You'll just want to talk to the people who are still around and still in the Tucson area.
He also said he thinks that the suspect, and he used the word unafraid, was unafraid based on the video, the surveillance video from the front camera. That was the adjective he used to describe him. Do you agree?
I don't disagree.
I agree with Dr. Gary here as well. This guy was not, he did not seem afraid here in this video. The way he walks, his posture, his speed, none of that seems, and that it's almost like he's at home. You know what I mean? It's almost like this creepo is at home. He knew that nobody was coming. Nobody was coming. A lot of people thinks he might be under the influence or something. He might have been, but I just think he was on a mission. I don't know.
I have an immense amount of faith in profiling as a science, and I tend to listen to them. It's kind of like if you got, I don't try to land the airplane for my airline pilot. They're up there doing it, and they're better at that airplane than I would be. And in the same way, I don't consider myself a competent profiler, but I have trust in their work. So while he says they're unafraid, I don't disagree with that. So I would be looking at somebody who probably has a little bit of arrogance and overconfidence. I would think that if he's unafraid, which seems likely now, that he was overconfident, because there was enough there with just one or two other pieces of information that it will eventually come back to haunt him. But I've worked these cases, Brian. I had a case where a woman was murdered. The wrong man went to prison for 18 years, and this guy was finally released, and the new detectives took the profiles from the crime 20 years before and found the guy.
Can you imagine, my God, being in prison for 18 years and not, thank you, Bo, good to see you, baby, and just not doing anything. Oh my God. All those Nest videos in slow motion, the perp video seems slowed down.
Wow. And he was right where the profiler said he was.
So when you're working a case, how does it work with the profilers? Like, do you have a meeting with them and they say, look, this is what we think? And then how does it work behind the scenes?
What you tend to do, I mean, this is just very rough steps. In your normal case, it's all done by mail, Zoom, and stuff like this. But you fire off all the information you have on them, on the case. Then they'll go through it and send questions back to you. You answer the questions, send those back, and then they'll come up with what they think is a profile. If you're fortunate, it's a big enough case, the profilers will come to you, and that's so much easier. And then once they come up with their profile, then you sit down either by Zoom or across a table from them.
I think they're a little out there, Maurice.
You go through all sorts of aspects, things that are just such incredible detail that
yes,
it's just fascinating,
exactly like Superior.
to me. And they, more often than not, they are absolutely correct.
Yes, make sure you have a subscription to your cameras, please.
So yeah, it's a kind of a fascinating science.
Yes, it is. And as you go along in the case, you might
the encyclopedias behind him, behind Brian. I can still smell those encyclopedias. You know what I'm talking about. Those encyclopedias had a smell. Oh my God. I would look at them forever as a kid, encyclopedias. I would just go through them and just love it. Love it. Encyclopedias back in the day, like if you got a good set, they were expensive, man, back in the day.
ask questions like, you said this person is of this age and this age. If you had to guess, would he be on the older end of the spectrum or the younger end? Just give me a guess. Or
they had the alphabet on them.
This person, if he wasn't this age, we've got a suspect who's maybe, not in his 20s or 30s. We found somebody in his 50s. Is that completely out of the range of possibility? And they'll give you frank answers on that.
Back to what he was saying about believing that it was someone that Nancy knew in some capacity. At this point, it being, more than 2 months, they've obviously probably talked to the people in the inner circle. We've heard the sheriff say that he says that they cleared the family. I mean, at this point, do you think they've covered pretty much all the close relatives and friends?
Yeah, I mean, they've had all the time they need to do all that.
Me too. Exactly.
I mean, it's not like days after the investigation. So, I think they probably run the usual suspects, the obvious suspects, things like that. That doesn't mean they've cleared everybody they've talked to.
Okay. I want to go back on that just a second here.
Not in his 20s or 30s. We found somebody in his 50s. Is that completely out of the range of possibility? And they'll give you frank answers on that.
Back to what he was saying about believing that it was someone that Nancy knew in some capacity. At this point, it being, more than 2 months, they've obviously probably talked to the people in the inner circle. We've heard the sheriff say that he says that they cleared the family. I mean, at this point, do you think they've covered pretty much all the close relatives and friends?
Yeah, I mean, they've had all the time they need to do all that. I mean, it's not like days after the investigation. So, I think they probably run the usual suspects, the obvious suspects, things like that. That doesn't mean they've cleared everybody they've talked to, but it does mean that they've found nothing that would that they would bring to the table as a causal or as a culpable person.
I don't know if I agree with him on that. I think they just gave the car back not so long ago, right? Of Tommaso and Annie's, and they went there, they took things out, they sent things off for testing as well. I don't think anybody is cleared, in my opinion. I just don't think anybody is cleared. I think they are waiting for a lot of those tests to be done, in my opinion, from the lab. Now the FBI is working on them, advanced testing. And someone sent Jules. Who sent Jules? Mods, can you let me know, please, so I can thank them? I personally don't think they have cleared anyone, just saying they did. I agree. I don't believe anything really the sheriff says. No, FBI, they certainly won't. Mm-mm. Yeah. You sent an email. Okay. Well, let me know. Who was it? Was it Julie Bug that sent the... Hey, Phoenix, good to see you. Check text. Okay. Julie Bug, thank you for sending 30 jewels, my friend. Appreciate that very, very much. Thank you, my dear. Really appreciate that. Thank you for your support, Miss Julie Bug. Good to see you, my friend.
We also talked to Dr. Ann Burgess, and her big thing.
I love
Cute
Ann
cat, by
Burgess.
the way.
She's
I'm
amazing.
sorry, she's
Let me
causing
see.
problems.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Wow, beautiful
I'm
cat.
sure you can.
That looks exactly. You guys have seen my cats. They look like twins, but they're brothers. That looks exactly like my kitties.
What's that?
Beautiful cat.
Thank you. He's very he was just asking for attention. He's just a red tabby, or an orange tabby.
Yeah, he's very. How old is he?
2.
2. Yeah, he's very.
I got him and his sister as a bonded pair of kittens, and
that's exactly how mine are. They're brothers, and they were just little ratty things. They came from underneath of a home, and I got them and took them to the vet, wormed them, got their fleas, all that stuff taken off, and then got them fixed.
The best cats in the world.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's funny. A random cat came to my. This has never happened before. A cat came to my front door today. I was just looking.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very cute. But then I found out it was one of my neighbors.
Yeah, they're looking for food.
Yeah, of course. Dr. Ann Burgess is another profiler we talked to. And this was interesting. Her big question was, you have to ask who would benefit from this? Who benefits from her disappearing, from Nancy Guthrie disappearing? And she kept going back to that word, benefit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's how I would work my cases frequently, is I would actually plan the crime. How would I have done this? How would I have gotten Nancy out of her home? How would I have done stuff like this?
How would you have done it, chat? Would you have taken her out of the front door, the back door, or the garage door? If you were, think about you being the suspect, how would you have taken Nancy out? I would have taken her out of the front door, personally. I know we wouldn't have done it. I know that, Miss Mama, but we're just thinking if we were in their position. I know that, Miss Sherry. I mean, I think all 1,300 of us watching right now hasn't probably unalived someone, but we got to get in their heads.
And then, when you start saying how, then it frequently comes to you, why would I do this? Why would I, what am I trying to do here? And and profilers are good at that. And I probably didn't think of that myself. I'm sure that I got that in some kind of training in the FBI, but it's been very helpful to me. And maybe it came from profilers. But yeah,
No,
she's asking the right questions from what I learned and what I did. She's you have to understand that, and I think that's what's so confusing to so many investigators and armchair investigators in social.
So, do we know if her bedspread was missing? No, from what we understand, her bedspread was not missing. That was another rumor in the beginning. No bedspread missing at all. Nope.
Social media is who would benefit from it, and why, if it was a kidnapping,
who would benefit from it?
Why didn't you negotiate better? Why did you sabotage your own investigation, or your own ransom possibilities by putting it in the media? That destroys it.
So from the beginning, there was something strange about that part to you.
Absolutely. If people want to get a message out, like the Unabomber or something like that, if they want to get a message out, yes, obviously involve the press. But if you want ransom, you don't want the public to know what.
He actually talks about the bed sheets. Steve does right up here, which is very, very interesting. and what probably they should have done, and taken to the lab. Because you guys have heard me mention this before. Um, a lot of times in true crime, the perpetrator, if like someone pews them in their bed and they remove them, they will just get like the fitted sheet or the sheet and wrap them up like in a almost like a mummy or something, and they will carry them out with the sheet, and that takes a lot of the evidence away because they are evidence at that point, and anything that was on the bed, any fibers, any hairs, or whatever. Um, and I had mentioned that in the past. So he's going to kind of bring it up here a little bit more in a minute. Hey, thank you so much, love. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for your support, my dear. Thank you for thank you so much, my dear. And thank you for being a member here on the Pearl family. Really, really do appreciate you, Miss K. Thank you for your support. I didn't think about that, Justin. Good point. Yeah. Yep. And it also makes them a way that, particularly if there's two people, they will it's easier to carry them as well. Another thing is, even if they don't like take them out on a sheet, they will many times take the bedspreads, right? Because that's where a lot of the evidence is.
What's going on?
She also brought up retaliation or revenge.
Julie Bug, thank you so much for sending a star, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. I've been asked this a lot. Do you think she could possibly have tried to get away through the front door and they caught her and took her back? I really don't think so. I really, really don't think so. Now, what I will say is, so at 84 years old, you are like, I think of it as just, you're very meek at that age and you're pretty defenseless. Uh, and that really pisses me off even more when I think about it. Someone doing this to an 84-year-old defenseless woman. Unbelievable. Like, just the worst of the worst. And so if she doesn't have a phone right on her, or a panic button, or a pew, the only time she could have potentially even done anything is if she walked outside and screamed while they were taking her outside. That would be the only time she could have done anything, really. That's it. Hopefully, thank you for sending Jules, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support, my love. Thank you. Thank you, love you. Appreciate that. The monkey is adorable. So sweet. Thank you, baby. Very kind of you. So good, Jerry. Good. I'm glad. I'm so glad. So this is another thing. Let's say you're letting her walk out. You know that she could scream whenever she got out there. Unless, like someone just said, they taped her mouth or had their hand over her mouth or whatever. That's really the only time she could have really notified someone to maybe hear her at 2:00 in the morning, right? 40 minutes inside. At least. wondering why they didn't have some sort of panic button or whatever. Um, I mean, I agree, to be honest with you. I really wonder about that as well. I mean, just at 84 years old, you are much more prone to falls, particularly if you can't get around, right? So she should have had like a life alert or something, in my opinion.
Is possible. And we've heard this before, like a grudge holder, someone who was trying to seek retaliation or revenge and doing that to, I guess, taking Nancy to do that.
Yes, and I think that is a very, very strong possibility now. Because what we have found with media personalities is there are people out there who are kind of stalkerish, and comes as no surprise to anybody, I'm sure. But and this is the profile I would want to look at. If the person was there as a fan of, or as an obsessed person about Nancy or Savannah and something she had said or something they perceive she said, then I would want to know what that profile is, because people like that really do an amazing amount of research and obsessive investigation into the subject of their obsession. So certainly,
Jim, to be honest with you, this may sound really bad, but if if that is the case, I hope she was asleep and she just didn't know nothing happened. That way there was no fear. She didn't know what happened. You know what I mean? Like, and she just didn't suffer and be scared. But the reports is that they is allegedly the reports, and the reports are everywhere in this case. So let's be honest, that there was no blood on the bed. So
the FBI by now has gone through all sorts of effort to find anybody.
He certainly had a pew-pew, right? He certainly had a pew-pew.
Who has attempted to communicate with Savannah or with NBC about Savannah, or is online talking trash about
I disagree with him here.
Savannah. And it could be, I mean, I remember a case I worked where a DJ in Denver, Colorado was murdered. And it turned out that he had some guests on who were fighting anti-Semitic groups. And so it was an anti-Semitic group who killed him. And they were 3 states over. And
you know something? That is one thing I have wondered. Nancy was very political. She was, and she made no bones about it, right? She stood where she stood politically. And I have wondered if, like, I don't think the Jeffrey Epstein stuff or anything like that at all. Zilch, nada. You're not going to convince me. But more locally, if she would, if someone got pissed off at her for whatever reason, I've wondered that. Because people, you talk about people's politics and their religion, and it's just the two things you don't talk about, unless you want to piss half the world off, literally. So you're going to piss half the world off instantly if you start talking about politics or religion. It's just the way it is. And I've really wondered that, because she was very outspoken on that. So That wouldn't surprise me.
So these are the things that make it really hard to line up a suspect. I still think it is likely a kidnapping, but I think if it's not, I would kind of think that once again the profiler is right, that this is a person who had a grudge against Nancy or against Savannah.
With the DJ, what did it take a
Yep.
long time to solve
Yep.
and find that group?
No, not really. It was probably within 6 to 8 months they found
Okay.
it. And they weren't that smart. They left a lot of when you kill somebody and leave the body, you leave evidence.
Mm.
And the fact that they took Nancy apparently alive, if she died somewhere else, and you're deprived of that evidence.
Yeah, you don't have that second crime scene.
No.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah, I hope so. Do you think that the FBI should release?
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is the thing. Okay, yeah, we need that second crime scene. We certainly do. But nobody's looking, right? Nobody's looking, and the longer it goes, the worse off they are. So why not allow EquiSearch? Why not allow United Cajun Navy? Right? Why not? You know, if the thing is, when you are searching, it is essentially a win-win situation, even if you don't find her, because you know where she's not. You know where she's not. Right? And these people are experts in this. They're far better than police at finding missing people. This is what they specialize in. They have way more equipment than the police does. Right? Sheriff Nanos isn't Cherry. He won't get back with them. And they're not just going to start searching without his blessing. An organization is just not going to do that. Yeah. They botched it. Yeah. I do not understand why they never took the front mat. I don't either, Brenda. Yep. And that's what I was reading earlier. United Cajun Navy has just wrote Nanos again with a 79-page offering, if you will, of what they're, a contract, if you will, that they'll do it. It's no cost to Nanos, no cost to the county, no cost to anybody. It is funded by the people. I know, Kim. I know.
More information. Like, I know in other cases they've released more info about who they think the person could be, maybe some information from these profilers, or just a little bit more to kind of give people more focus.
I don't. And follow me on this. I mean, obviously, look what I'm doing. I'm talking to you. I'm a network news analyst for crime. I am on the media side of it now. So, and I certainly believe that media has a strong responsibility in holding people accountable, government, law enforcement, things like that. I think it's one of the noblest things that media does. At the same time, as a career FBI agent, I also believe that if law enforcement is acting legitimate.
I don't know, Labs. Everybody's saying that the guy, not a professional, is crazy because obviously he was. They have all types of FBI and everybody looking for her, trying to figure everything out, and nothing. It certainly feels like that. But I hope that, again, I have a feeling that they have an idea of who did this. I really do. I think that they are working the case. I think they are wanting to get the results back from the lab, that they're not going to do anything, nothing, until they get the results back from the lab, in my opinion. But I do think, I think the guy got really lucky, to be quite honest with you. I think he got really lucky that Sheriff Nanos was incompetent and his people was incompetent. Whose birthday is it? Is it Julie Bug's birthday? Happy birthday, Julie Bug. Happy birthday, darling. Happy birthday, Miss Julie Bug. The world is your oyster. It's up for you to find the pearls. And guess what, Mother Chicken? You did. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Julie Bug. Happy birthday to you. And little dog, Miss Julie Bug. Good to see you, baby. Thank you so much for being here.
Ultimately,
your day's been amazing.
Media should and historically generally has been respectful of the process. So my fear would be this.
Yes.
Number one, if you release details that only the FBI and the suspect would know, then you could never use those details in any kind of prosecution. So while it may find somebody or help find somebody, it makes it a lot less likely that they'd be prosecuted successfully.
Well, and again, I've asked the question many, many times, and now Brian's bringing it up, and I'm glad that he's bringing this up. I think that they can give us things that would not hurt the investigation about this guy, potentially even what kind of vehicle we should be looking out for as well. I don't think that's going to hurt the case, but they haven't, which can only mean two different things. Either they're just keeping it very close to the vest and they'll figure it out themselves, or they already know. They already know, and they're waiting for results.
So there are two phases here, and you might help yourself here, but destroy yourself here. That's one thing. The other thing is, since I left the Bureau, which hasn't been that long, the entire social media world has changed or come to existence, mostly. And so what happens when you release details, especially profiler details, which, as much as I believe in them, and I believe they're scientific, and I followed them and they made cases for me, they are not 100%. And people could be in danger by other people saying, I figured it out and they're going to pay for this. And you can make somebody's life miserable. So I think that's a new responsibility that the FBI has to deal with. So no, I don't believe you should send more profiling information out there or more investigative details, because it hurts the prosecution. It doesn't necessarily help. And it makes the assumption that the people out there have information that, somebody has information out there already. They know who did this. But I don't think the FBI is signed on to the philosophy that that the people of America are their best chance at solving this.
And there was one other thing I wanted to ask you about, Steve. This is new, which we confirmed and other news outlets have also confirmed. There's a hair. So remember, they initially sent the DNA evidence to the Florida lab that the Pima County Sheriff works with. Now, so it's been there for months. Now they're sending a hair from that lab to the FBI lab in Quantico to do what they're
How did that hair get
Love you, Sassy. I'm getting ready to play that video that you sent.
to the lab?
in Florida?
Yeah, the sheriff sent that hair to the
That's
lab in
right.
Florida.
Yes. Yeah. And this isn't new.
Listen to
Like they
this.
did this a long time ago. We just didn't know about it.
I was just unaware of it.
Yeah. Yeah. We just found out about the hair.
If you have a tapeworm, I'm going to kiss you because I need to be skinny. Okay.
But what's new is that
Ninja.
they're now sending the hair from the lab in Florida to the FBI for what we're being told is advanced testing.
Yeah.
What do you think that could mean? I mean, is that a good sign?
Yeah, it could be a good sign. I mean, it could be a very good sign. I think we discussed a while back. I would have just bundled up the entire bed sheet thing and tied it at the top,
Yeah.
so everything that was in the bed would
You hear that?
would go to the lab, and they could spend a day looking for
What I was talking about right there. Listen to this. He's talking about that sheet, what they should have done, take the fitted sheet and just bundle it all up, and they can take it to like the FBI lab, but Sheriff Doofy, of course, he's not going to do that. He's going to send it to the Florida lab, which Florida lab's good, but FBI's they're not going to do anything unless they check it out in the first place, right? So listen to what he says here.
What do you think that could mean? I mean, is that a good sign?
Yeah, it could be a good sign. I mean, it could be a very good sign. I think we discussed a while back. I would have just bundled up the entire bed sheet thing and tied it at the top, so everything that was in the bed would go to the lab, and they could spend a day looking for 2 days looking for hair flakes or scalp things, anything, because you cannot walk across the room without leaving some type of evidence. And so if it
You know what else you can't walk across without leaving some kind of evidence? A welcome mat. Right? What is on Sheriff Nano's head? That is his Reno 911 helmet. But we're in Pima 911. You like his shorts? Lord have mercy, baby's got her blue jeans on. No, he's got his shorts on. Who wears short shorts? He wears short shorts. Okay.
I suspect she was helped out of bed simply because of her age. And if you do that and you lean over the bed,
Listen.
I mean, why do people wear hairnets in restaurants? Because we know hair falls in food. Hair would have fallen on that bed very possibly, especially if there was any type of exertion. At the end of a day, you might have a hair or two on your shoulders. You lean over, it falls over. So I think there's so much potential evidence in those sheets and in those blankets. So I'm actually very encouraged by that. The thing with DNA from hair is that it depends on whether you get just the hair or you get the root, the follicle. If you get the follicle, then you get an immensely larger, I'm speaking in general terms, but you get a much larger DNA sample. If you get the hair alone, you have a very reduced and less useful, not unuseful, but less useful piece of evidence.
Yeah, and I actually interviewed a DNA expert the other day about that. I guess that the technology is changing so quickly. Before it used to be if you didn't get the root, you were in trouble. Now I guess there's some new researchers that are really making progress with getting DNA off of just the regular part of the hair. But she was explaining to me, like, if your hair is dyed, it's an issue. Like, there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, if your hair's particularly if it's bleached, it really it fucks up the DNA. It pulls it all out. But like my hair, it would be like, sorry, you're an alien. Can't help you.
Bulls there that come into play. But it was just
Yes.
interesting
My hair's dyed, light, and frayed to the side.
to hear how quickly it's progressing. Before you were just basically screwed if you didn't have the root, and now I guess
Right.
it's getting better. Something else I wanted to ask you that Dr. Burgess said was she believes that there was more than one person involved and that there may have been a boss, like a you know, like a boss and then some underlings. What are your
Okay.
thoughts on that?
I would have hired better people.
Since I
But
was 11.
again, I'm not
Ginger.
disagreeing with it. That's not my blink on the case. I just didn't see people. I mean, there are different relationships, you know, when you get into hiring somebody to do something. Sometimes you hire them, train them, and equip them.
Yep.
Sometimes you just say, how much do you want? So yeah, it could be very possible. And you know, you asked about the process. We would say, if she said that across the
Really?
table, I'd say, wow, that's fascinating. What makes you think that? Because whatever makes her think that is actionable evidence for us. You know, I think so because
I will say that Lynn says here they should have taken carpet by her bed too, in my opinion. No, never mind. I was thinking about another case actually where they took carpet. I don't know if they did there or not. I think we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Trust me. We'll figure it out.
he acted this way, or he did this in a way that didn't indicate that he had planned it, like he was following a script. Those things are always
Oh,
important.
stage 3. You look beautiful, baby. You look beautiful. I love you, darling. And fuck cancer. Fuck cancer. I hate cancer.
But you know, the entire profile makes it.
Make sure you're taking zinc. Zinc really helps your hair, and collagen really helps your hair. Take about 8 collagen tablets a day, and I'm not a doctor, but do your own research, and about 50 milligrams of zinc a day.
It makes the investigation so much more effective. I remember one case where they said the person who did this crime lived within sight of this person's apartment window. And
Wow.
things like that, and they did, things like that, just you can imagine how invaluable they are. And so I would want, I think what she's telling you is very accurate, and I would certainly not argue with any of it, but I would want to know the whys. You know, the profile report on this thing isn't going to be a paragraph. This is going to be pages. And so I would want to know why she thought that.
You mentioned that the kidnapping, you know, there's weird things about the ransom note that don't make a lot of sense.
Pleasure.
Could the kidnapping be a distraction from something else? Like they just wanted to, I hate to talk about it like this, but like get rid of Nancy and then tried to make it look like a kid.
Yeah, make sure you take something on, if you take zinc, make sure you take something, make sure you eat first, because zinc will make you nauseated if you don't. I take zinc every day.
Kidnapping, but I guess what would the reason for that be?
Hypothetically, she witnessed a crime or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The statistically, we have a very strong database on how that's done. It's basically walk in, shoot them, leave. That's how the La Cosa Nostra and the mafia and
like if it's organized crime and you did something, they just go in and leave generally. Someone who wants to hide her, the relationship is generally closer. People who do something like this, you're generally, not always, but generally it is a closer relationship, someone that will go move the body. Biotin is good. Absolutely. Biotin, absolutely. Yeah. Can't take vitamins without food. Yeah.
Crime syndicates and
food,
drug syndicates in Mexico. That's how they operate.
Now, if you your collagen, you take on an empty stomach.
Walk in, shoot,
It doesn't
go.
make you nauseated.
And if they stay for longer than that, it's only to torture the person or mutilate them to make a better, stronger message to anybody else who might be a witness. In this case, there was too much effort, in my opinion. There's no reason to make it look like a kidnapping, because all you need is them dead and you not caught. And that's a whole bunch easier to do and not get caught than bringing the subject with you.
Makes sense. Well, thank you, Steve, for your time, as always.
Thank you.
As always.
Okay. So there we have that right there with Brian Entin. Yep. It's very good for your immune system. Absolutely. Very, very good. Okay. Thank you. Special thank you to Brian Entin. Make sure you guys sub up to Brian Entin. Of course, he's on the ground there, always looking at this case, right? Guys, if you're just joining us, please hit that thumbs up or double tap that screen and doing all the good stuff. Appreciate you guys being here. I want to go to TMZ. 2 weeks ago, there was another letter that came out. How hard is it to move a decomposing body? Ooh, I know it's an awful question. So this is the thing. How do I say it? You can move them, but you are not going to leave. There's going to be evidence. You're not going to take all of it with you, because if remains have been decomposing in an area, that the dirt and stuff around it, so like everything will die in that area where the body has decomposed for the first year. Everything will die, and then the next year everything will start growing, and it will be a brighter green in that area, generally like brighter grass or brighter weeds or whatever. And it just depends on how decomposed they are as well, right? Generally after really 4 or 5 months, you're going to be skeletal, if you're not embalmed, of course, which, in crime, you're not embalmed, obviously, if you're being hidden. Okay. If you're embalmed, and you're embalmed good, you won't decompose for sometimes decades. So, yeah. So, okay, moving on.
She is at today, and she was actually on the air when they started the show this morning. Remember, she had been back to visit them once during.
Yes, harboring mind. That's so if you, I don't know if you've been here long or not, but I used to work for hospice, and I also used to work in funeral homes, and people just do not understand how hard it is to move dead weight. It's not like lifting up a 50 or a 100-pound sack of feed. Yeah, it's way different than that because of the way we have limbs and we're proportioned and all of that. So it's really, really difficult. What about the shoes? What shoes? I see you. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. bad. Yeah, COVID was horrible. Horrible.
The last 2 months while she was dealing with her mother's disappearance. But this was the first time she went on the air, and everyone was watching to figure out what was her mood going to be? How could she handle this?
Would she talk about it?
Would she talk about it? This is how they started the day.
Pretty shot of the sun coming up.
Are you saying that to be funny? Didn't I tell you a story about that? I see you. Is that why you're saying that? Is that why you're saying that? Didn't I tell you a story about that?
Good morning. Welcome to Today on this Monday morning. We are so glad you started your week with us, and it is good to be home.
Yes, it is good to have you back at home.
Well, here we go. Ready or not?
Yeah.
Let's do the news.
Yes, so good
Hold
to
on.
have you back.
Sorry, wrong one. I'm playing here. I think I'm playing the wrong one. Which one? Okay, hold on. Okay, here it is. I think this is it. Let me go to here. Savannah looks so pretty in yellow, by the way. She looks so cute. Justin, we had those loved using them in the children's Bible story books. Oh, yeah. Back in the day, yeah. I thought she didn't need Jews because she is deceased was my first thoughts. It's very possible. Very possible. I was about to ask if you was due to dead weight. I would imagine the same would apply for lifting a quadriplegic. Yes. Yeah. It doesn't. When you say dead weight, you don't necessarily mean dead. It's just the term. So if someone is bedridden, it's the same thing, right? Because they cannot. They're not mobile. It's very hard. I see you. It's very, very hard, particularly high heels for women, and particularly if they have an arched foot. It's really difficult.
There's sort of a new beginning
No,
of spring.
I'm thinking of it as yellow ribbons.
You went with Tony
Okay.
Orlando
He
and
went
Dawn.
Tony
When
Orlando
they tie
and
a yellow
Dawn.
ribbon
But
around
it-
the old oak tree to
I
invite
went-
back the soldiers.
Christian
No, that's
Easter.
not nothing.
I don't want to trivialize it because that's actually become a thing too with missing people.
Okay.
Without question.
With
Yeah.
wearing
look at
yellow,
that
so
one,
that
too.
really struck
It's
me.
also a sunny color. I mean, she does seem as upbeat as you can be. She's delivering the news. It's obviously extraordinarily difficult. She was out there for part of it with Jenna Bush Hager, and she was clutching her hand in the beginning, looking at all of this.
when they went outside. into
The
plaza.
outpouring of
Right.
love. She was holding her hand the whole time and looking at the signs. It's hard to feel anything but warmth over this.
Good she's back, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good she's back. And,
Yeah.
It's awful what she's going through. This is a cold case. I will share a little bit of news with you. The person who has been incessantly contacting us,
Although
saying,
stopped for a while.
stop for a while.
Yeah.
We got another letter today
Listen to
from
this.
person, an email saying, I know where her body is and who the kidnapper is. Give me half a Bitcoin and I'll tell you. And this person has been really persistent, knowing that if it's a scam, it's a federal crime.
Right. But they also made the point that they wanted to make it clear that they have nothing to do with it.
Right.
They've been out of the country, but who knows?
We forwarded it.
Again, we forwarded it to the FBI,
Right.
as we have in the past. And
Right.
for whatever reason, and this is the thing we haven't figured out, you have to assume that the law enforcement, they believe that this person is not legit. Otherwise, they would have advised Savannah to pay the money.
Can we just be
Hold on one second. Ratui, was there a certain part of that live you were talking about, my dear? Was there a certain part? I'm not eating very well since her mom had disappeared and probably skinnier. Oh, I'm sure. Some people just can't eat when they're stressed.
I mean, it's good she's back. And, it's awful what she's going through. This is a cold case.
I don't think I disagree. I don't think it's a cold case at all.
Share a little bit of news with you. The person who has been incessantly contacting us,
Although
saying,
stopped for a while.
stop for a while. We got another letter today.
They'll give it to
from
you.
this person, an email saying, I know where her body is and who the kidnapper is. Give me half a Bitcoin and I'll tell you. And this person has been really persistent, knowing that if it's a scam, it's a federal crime.
Right. But they also made the point that
this person is being persistent. I mean, there's obviously people out there that, I mean, they got to know it's a federal crime. Why would they still do it?
they wanted to make it clear that they have nothing to do with it.
Right.
They've been out of the country, but who knows?
I think it's interesting that they're saying they've been out of the country or whatever. I don't know if they've been out of the country. I think they might be doing that to distance themselves, but I think they could know.
Reported to the FBI,
right,
as we have in the past, and
right,
for whatever reason, and this is the thing we haven't figured out, you have to assume that the law enforcement, they believe that this person is not legit. Otherwise, they would have advised Savannah to pay the money.
Can we just be really transparent? I think you're right that the law enforcement doesn't. There's something.
I just can't figure out why.
Well, why not take a flyer? The price of Bitcoin is much lower now. These are like, you can just take a flyer and see what the person knows. The most you lose is 20 grand, 25 grand.
I'll tell you why. My spidey senses tell me that there's something about this guy, because one of the emails he sent said early on, time is of the essence
right here
to do this. And then the next day he said, time is no longer of the essence.
You hear that? Time is of the essence. The first day, next day said time is no longer of the essence. Now, this is the thing. If they are about like getting the money, right? You're going to want to make sure like they're going to say like she's alive.
If he was pulling a scam, why would you say time is no longer of the essence?
Exactly.
Right. You want to keep the value high.
You want to keep the value high.
Yeah.
And the fact that he said this made me think, this guy knows something.
Yeah, it's a way to look honest as well, though.
I'm not, look, I'm not FBI.
We're not privy to all the information they are, but
you're talking about the
from the outside looking in, it sure seems like this person knows something.
Hi, this is Hannah from Boston. I'm really glad to see Savannah back on the Today Show. There's been some controversy online that I've seen where people are saying that they think she came back too soon.
I love Jenna Bush. I thought they said that they were being hunted from. I thought they said that they were being hunted from saying that. Why does he always say spidey senses? He does say that a lot. Now that it was about 24 minutes into the video. So it wasn't at 3 hours, 3 hours, 30 minutes, or was it 24 minutes into the video? What you mean by that, my babes? I'm going to pull that up next. But you would have to say that because Savannah wanted real proof. And that's a point. Yeah. But he's saying no. This person is saying that they had nothing to do with it, but they know who did it. That's what it is. This letter is not coming from the unaliver or the person that kidnapped Nancy. It's the person that says they know who did it. Right? Wait a second. Well, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, because if they say time is of the essence and then time is no longer of the essence, how the fuck would they know if they're not involved? You get me? You get me? I wonder if the same person said that she's in Mexico. Ratui, is it at 30 minutes? Or Ratui sent me this. Is this it? Is this the part?
Off of
What am I looking for?
Campbell. I mean, just you can tell it's just a really nice neighborhood, and this has definitely become mysterious because of her age. So with that, let's see here, I might have to take this off, but we will do a walk of the land here. As my other phone, hold on 1 second,
minutes?
guys. But this is the house. Hello.
Okay.
Got the stuff out. Footage from day one as I was on. But this is the footage from day one as I was on. Stuff out. All right, so that's not working that way. Give me 1 minute.
Okay. I see what you're doing. Okay. So this is day one when Nancy first went missing. 857 Tucson. 857. Okay. Let's see here.
Okay, we got it. We got it in the queue. We're ready. Just want to get that banner down. And I appreciate your guys' patience. This is all I'm learning too. This been seen because, like I said, I haven't watched this in depth, but here it goes. Plush and play. 57 Tucson. Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it. That car looked like ours, so our promotions car. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought maybe you were one of our promotions guys.
Oh, they wouldn't hire me.
Day one or day two?
Day one, about 4 p.m.
Okay. Day one, 4 p.m. This is even before Savannah got there.
Hello. Have you guys heard any update?
I mean, look at all that. Look at all like the trees and the bushes and all that in front of her house. Like it's hard to see.
Dog was.
It'd be very hard
like,
to see at night.
She had a picture of a dog. Or did they? No, because in the picture there was a dog. So I'm wondering.
It's blocked.
Was the dog found in the house?
It shows like tracks that. Okay, that's what I want to see. Yeah, thank you.
Is this the house? All right, here we are, guys. We're on scene right now. It appears there is a car, a white car in the driveway. We are on scene. This is.
Are you talking about these tracks right here?
Savannah Guthrie's mother's house, Nancy.
These tracks? That looks like a very big vehicle to me. That looks like a truck almost to me. Look how wide they are. That looks very wide. Further up.
Guthrie, she's been missing since January 31st. And
yeah, no fucking crime tape or nothing. I mean, can you believe this shit? Can you believe this shit? Homicides there, and there's not even damn tape up. Yes, those are from a tire track. I bet you. Yeah, I agree. just unbelievable. You just want to scream at them for this. So fucked up. I mean, anybody could walk up there right now. Anybody.
But if you can see here, there is a white car. In
This
that
is day
driveway.
one. Day one.
Kind of interesting. There is two cups there that look like they've been there for a while. Let me know if you guys have any questions. She went missing. Now, the sheriff, everybody probably most likely has seen.
It could be. Wait, that's a good point.
Turn this down a little bit. It's kind of loud. Everybody has seen the.
Yeah, that's right.
This morning, Sheriff Nanos did a report, and he basically said that the circumstances of her missing are very suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
And so they do not.
No
think
crime
that she
tape.
walked away. They think this is possibly a crime scene.
And think of this. Think of this. There's blood up there on the porch right now. There's fucking blood up there right now when he's taking this video. And there's not nothing. No caution tape, no nothing. Yep, you exactly, Drake. So blood on the porch, but what about the foyer, the immediate foyer? I forgot. Yes, there's allegedly blood on the other side of the door. Yes. Oh my God, this just
sharp
makes you want to scream.
in the mind, but she didn't have good ability with walking. So I believe, not confirmed, she did have a walker. And so they're thinking.
Hold on. You think I'm AI 5-star? You think I'm AI? I don't know what you mean by that.
Possibly.
I am your AI friend.
Left with somebody, or somebody, obviously had to help her leave. There's no indication as far as she was seen at 9:30 in the morning, and she was supposed to be at church the next day. Because I don't know if somebody was supposed to pick her up here and take her to church, because she didn't drive. So there is some things wondering about, if she didn't show up to church and they called, is kind of how the story goes. She didn't show up to church. They called. Somebody obviously came and realized that she was not here. And since she doesn't drive, that possibly something criminal is what Sheriff Nanos said. So
is my mic good now?
Right now, we're just kind of hoping that some lead comes in, but as of right now,
it's bad.
There has been no change in, other than this morning, Sheriff Nanos now believes that there is a crime. This is a crime scene, so lots of unknowns right now. But there is a big media presence here. I will show that.
How far up is it? What are we looking for?
Here in the foothills of Tucson, it's right off of.
Yeah, this could have been a delivery truck or something, but something bad happened.
Campbell. I mean, just, you can tell it's just a really nice neighborhood. And this has definitely become mysterious because of her age. So with that,
yeah,
let's see here, I might have to take this off.
You might have to fast forward a bit more to see the walker
do a walk
tracks.
of the land here. As my other phone, hold on one second, guys.
It's kind of
this is
slow.
the house. Hello.
Things overheating.
A very nice house. It is secluded, but there's lots of other.
Let me fast forward a little bit. There was media there, quick, very quick.
All right, guys, I'm gonna just pause it real quick because the lady that you're seeing on the screen next, that I'm gonna put on next, you're gonna see her on the phone. That is a sheriff's deputy. This is a sheriff's deputy. There.
Fast forward.
Say why we can't stay here.
So you can see tracks over here as well. See? You can see tracks there. You see him? Yeah, she's a detective, he said. I don't know, something sus possibly. A lot of people say that. I don't think so.
I guess they're not going to let us stay here. Doesn't make sense.
The reason I said it doesn't make sense is because they already had opened up the scene, right? So they already let all these people in.
Yeah, I mean, his car is already pulled on. I am about to scream. And it's nothing against Cameron or anything like that, but his car has already drove on the property. No car should have been able to go on that property. Yep, first date. I thought it was wrong if Cam telling Savannah, yeah. But I think cameras fed that, in my opinion. Not yet, crazy buck. Not yet, no.
And then now they were going to make us move back. And then so you'll see.
Do have channel 3 here from, but like I said, this.
Okay, I don't know if y'all can see it from here, but let me show you this. Okay, watch where my mouse is. You see there's people down here and then there's cars down here. This is where the neighbor behind Nancy, they were walking their dog and said the vehicle was Saturday evening, probably around the time Nancy was at Tommaso and Annie's house. There was a weird, vehicle just parked randomly down here because it's a little place you can kind of like pull over.
This is a scene right now where I have no idea. I could see them not letting people in front of the house, but
Cameron is
see
just
if we can get some clarity on
the house was clear.
I asked her.
Remember, they cleared this house within the first 36 hours. I don't know what color it was. They never said that I'm aware of. They never said.
Okay, thank you.
There's more tire tracks.
Oh yeah, people were in the house.
It's not the best footage. It gets a little scribbled.
And then after they cleared it, the next day, that's when the FBI, Brian is there, and he does a video, does a short, and he's like, guys, the FBI is here. They're back. They're in the house now. They're wanting to, look around and do their thing, I guess. And he's like, I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, Ginger.
With everybody around there.
Let me know what you guys have in the comments. But we are here in front of Savannah Guthrie's mother's house, Nancy Guthrie. The latest is she was supposed to go to church. I'm going to do a recap.
You would think.
On February 1st, she was last seen getting dropped off, I believe, by family members at the house here.
I got a little information wrong.
Around 9:45 on February 28th. She didn't show up.
If I missed you, Pebbles, Robin, and who else? Leslie, Robin, Leslie, and Pebbles. Thank you for sending Jules. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you so much.
They came, somebody came to the house and discovered
she attended church online, but she went to her friend's house to do that.
In the house that were suspicious that Sheriff Nanos now has called it a crime scene. Are they going to back us up to a certain area?
Yes, where those cars are parked.
Okay.
There, that's going to be the media staging area.
Okay, thank you.
So you right there, okay? I'm going to stop it real quick. That's where she told us that she got off the phone. You saw her on the phone, right?
Wow.
She was going to move everybody back. And
I'm going to show y'all something.
And so
That's
I
very
asked
interesting.
her, are you guys going to move everybody back?
That's very interesting, Ginger. I'm going to show that after this. Very interesting.
Are you with the media too?
Okay, we're looking for tracks.
This is day one.
Should I move my car? There?
That's where she made me move my car.
Okay. Is this it? Okay. You see these? Is this it, Ginger? Or Ratui? Right here? Look at these right here. It's almost like there's been a vehicle twice come through here at different times. I used to think it was kind of like a dolly or something, but now I'm just or an ATV maybe, but see, I don't think it's drag marks. I don't know, Jim. I mean, could have been. Is this the part, Ratui? It looks like something. Where was the thing at Ratui? He'll start talking about it. Okay. Okay.
My finger in the way. Your finger out of the way.
If they have any surveillance cameras that you can see it. And look right here.
You can almost see something right there as well.
I'm gonna zoom in. Here's a.
That's day one.
You see that?
You see flowers?
That's a.
I don't see flowers.
Like,
There's the officer that I was telling you about. She's got her gun and everything. Her pew pew. Do you see any sheriffs look in the neighborhood or tracking anything? I don't.
be
She was
overheating.
the only one there.
Yeah, I think that they were there. You just couldn't see them.
Sorry about shaky footage.
I agree.
But they're gonna be closing up the house in front of the house.
Eight inches of rain a year. We get 8 inches of rain in a month. That's crazy. It's hot during the day, cold at night. Desert. Yeah, we do. I mean, seriously, it's so wet here. It's so moldy and all that stuff.
But it's obviously turned into more of an investigation now.
The desert had a super bloom this year. Lots of flowers
What
do.
Chris Nano
A lot of
said,
rain,
Sheriff
rare.
Nanos, there was things that were found at the scene. She's 84 years old. She can't walk. So
A golf cart. Mm-hmm.
most likely, from what the report can't talk from his press conference, that something happened. And so right here on the left is where the house is, where the cactus, where all that cactus is. Everybody's sitting up. See, I might take it right here, and if I can go in front of that. Phoenix, New York Post, I just heard is here.
Cactus are freaking huge. Hey, Michelle. Thank you so much, baby. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Hello, Justin and everyone. I've been under the weather. Oh, I am better. Good, good, good. Hopefully tomorrow I will be in tip top. I will watch this later. Much love, Michelle. Sorry you were sick. I'm glad you're on the mend, though, my dear. Really appreciate you, my dear. Hope get some rest. Take some vitamin C and some zinc or something. Help your immune system. Love you, darling. Appreciate you very much, my love. Yes, thank you so much. You lived in the desert 12 years in Bullhead City, Arizona, stinking hot. I love the hot. I love it. It's better than the
We're gonna see if we can
freaking
park
cold.
right in front of the house until
My golf cart burns rubber. Is there any more to this for Chewy coming up?
All right, so let's see if we can. They're going to, she said, to clear out to the media.
So that's where they did say they were going to be shutting down the road. As you could see her walking on the phone, and she goes, "Yeah, we're going to be shutting it down soon." So I was kind of anticipating.
This is the thing. They ain't even shut down their crime scene. You ain't even shut down your crime scene, let alone anything else.
Obviously, shut it.
Let me look through here real quick.
Go around.
I'd love to live in the desert.
Staying busy. I know. It's never ending, right? I don't think the media likes me very much. So here we are.
Media's assholes to YouTubers and stuff.
See, here's one neighbor's house. And then the other neighbor is
generally
pretty spread apart. See if they have any cameras. There is a white car here.
And that's what I was saying. It looks like Mama says, unbelievable. It doesn't even look like a crime scene. That's what was really shocking for me is when I showed up, and
There is
this
no
is still day one.
That's exactly what I just said. Like, this is day freaking one. Arizona is awesome, but closer to the border, it gets scarier. Yeah, I don't know if I would want to live next to the border. That's for sure. Can lay her down in the back of a. Yeah, but you can't really go far with the golf cart.
That there's nothing going. I mean, you don't see it. Didn't even
Go to the house. Dude, why would they pick this house? Why would they pick Nancy Guthrie?
It's just so crazy that, less
Got
than
all these house
24 hours before there, such evil happened.
They for whatever reason, Nancy Guthrie is missing. 84 years old. This is not a normal case. She didn't just wander off.
Okay, looky here. Look at these lines. Look at this. Lines here that goes out. You got a straight line here. You got a line there, line there, line there. The reason they thought she walked away was because the house is immaculate. But with the doors open in the back and then the front having blood? I don't think so. They look skinny and thin here. They do, but back here, they look really big. Like when they're coming around, it's very wide.
Why would Nancy Guthrie be missing? There should be no reason unless somebody took her, is what I'm thinking. And I think authorities, from what they're saying, is she didn't drive. So there's your one thing. We're not looking for a car. She's 84 years old and she had a walker. She was sharp as a tack, they said, but she didn't have good agility to walk. She could only walk 50 yards at a time. So what they're saying is the crime, some crime happened, but there should be no reason that she walked away or could have walked away.
This vehicle's had to turn right and go back out that way.
On her own power.
See these right here? Like they had to turn and go that way. You can see where they had to go that way. Oh, let me see. You guys can't see it because let me pull it up like this right there. We go. See right here? Like they had to turn and go that way. Left.
I mean, if somebody has bad agility, just walking down this hill is going to be, somebody would have found her if she walked away from this house. Somebody would have found her if it was one of the cases we hear often about, an elderly person wandering off. We would have found her because they had all kinds of helicopters.
They could be. They could be from emergency, anything.
And so something in the house happened, but they actually are calling this a crime scene now. They're going to be clearing everybody out here in just a minute of front of the house. But this has now become a nationwide case, obviously, with Savannah Guthrie being from Tucson. And now she's thrust into a case where nobody wants to be. I mean, imagine getting the call, knowing your mom is elderly. She lives alone from what I could. Her husband died 20 years ago.
Okay, we're gonna. I'm gonna look at the rest of that Ratui later. If there's anything else I can find in that, I will definitely look at that. I want to bring something to you now, real quick. Ginger shared this with me. This is very interesting. A neighbor of Nancy Guthrie spotted this dark red Honda near Camino Real on February 2nd, the day after Nancy Guthrie suspected abduction nearby. She told Fox News Digital, and it remained in place for about 3 days before it was moved. The route itself has been flagged to Fox Digital News by another neighbor. Excuse me. Who said she also saw a suspicious man walking in the area on February 2nd around the corner from what appeared to have been an abandoned car. The young mother asked not to be named due to the concerns for her children's safety amid the unsolved kidnapping investigation. She described him as about 5'9" tall, Hispanic, and a close trimmed beard and wearing a silver bracelet. He was smoking a cigarette near the intersection of Camino Juan Piscino and Pedra Cinca, which excuse me, which is between Camino Real and the Guthrie's home. The Pima County Sheriff's Department did not return multiple phone calls and emails about the man or the vehicle, a dark red Honda SUV that the neighbor said was moved after 3 days. That is the exact same kind as Tommaso and Annie's. He's 5'9", I believe, as well. Someone has to. Wonder who moved in. Very interesting. He was wearing a bracelet. So he was wearing a bracelet. He smoked. And seems like he might have had a Honda. Wonder if the owner claimed it or it was towed. I don't know. Tell you the truth, I don't even think they cared. Maybe not. I would like to know what would warrant a search warrant on Luke Staley. Please. Me too, sister. Me too. Something okay, bye-bye. Good to see you, baby. Let me see here. You texted me something? I didn't get anything, or did you email me? I didn't get anything, baby. It's got a yellow sticker on it. Yeah, but that what's a yellow sticker mean? I noticed that yellow sticker, but I didn't like. I thought it was like something legal. 857 said there was also 2 coffee on day 1, but don't know if they belong to the police. Like, that's interesting. They might have came and towed it. Yep. It's the same. I mean, that it's a very popular SUV, but it's an older one. It's an older one. And guess what? You're not going to be able. This one does not have an infotainment center, which is what I find interesting. This one doesn't. I promise you, this one has zilch of an infotainment center. Someone just sent this. I don't know what this is.
It comes built in with like 2 gloves in it.
Yes, this is the higher end glove, and it has a white interior layer to it. These gloves are designed that if the surface is broken while you're wearing it, it will show you the inner liner.
Oh, shit! I can't play that, my dear, because it's got copyright music on it. I'm sorry. I will share it with you guys. So if you want to go watch it, though. Yeah, it's definitely an older model. Definitely an older model, for sure. I have lost the email address. Justin, can someone? Yes. Here's my email. Or you can text me. Either or. All right, guys. Yes, we are about at the end of the show. Please come back and comment. Hashtag justice for Nancy, a smiley face, middle finger, whatever. It doesn't matter to me, as it helps boost the algorithm. Did you? Oh, yeah. Hold on. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. We are going to play this in honor of Tony tonight. I don't know where it is, but
Tony Mathis as well. Thank you both for coming here. What's your reaction, Seth and Tony, to what happened today or yesterday in court with Bullhorn Betty? And what are your thoughts about Bullhorn Betty and what she's been doing?
Well, Vinny, first off, thank you for having us tonight. Let me be crystal clear about something. That entire family lied under oath to get those protective orders.
God bless Tony. God bless him. It's Seth giving that look.
First
of all, it sounds like someone. First of all, it sounds like Seth's heart monitor going off or something like that. Whatever that is, beeping in the back. And then it's like.
Thank you for having us
What's
tonight. Let me be crystal clear about something. That entire family lied.
Oh my God. Look at that look. Look at that look. Oh my God. For people that don't know what we're laughing at, whenever there was a, this is related to the Sebastian Rogers case, the stepdad would always say crystal clear, and the bio dad here is Seth Rogers in the black, and Tony's in the green, and he's saying crystal clear, and Seth gives him just the biggest, dirtiest look.
Let me be crystal clear about something. That entire family lied under oath.
Oh my God. Machete. Yes. What does LD mom drive? LD. Who's LD? LD. Thank you, Stage 3. Thank you for becoming a member, my dear. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the Pearl family. Really do appreciate you, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know what his mom drives. No, it will never get old. It will never get old. Rest well, Tony. Very unexpected. Very, very unexpected. He might have borrowed her car, just the theory, not proof. Well, let's think about this. He didn't have a car at the time. His was in the shop, or his was totaled, and he got a car a week after Nancy goes missing. I think it will, Little Red. I do think it will, but I think it's going to take some time. Yes, Deborah. Yes. So funny. So funny. Yes, wishing you a good night too, Pamela. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really, really do appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your time. There's a lot of choices here on YouTube, and I do appreciate you being here. Truly. Thank you to mods, members, chat. Good to see you all. And Lord willing, I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everyone, and God bless.